You're in the middle of something. Pardon me.
Hey, are you one of those so-called badasses?
You've got the wrong guy. And don't bother waiting for the Yagyus, they're all gone.
They're gone?
I killed all 3.
Better yet!
Good morning. You'll have to kind of forgive my not so hype mood today. I think I'm gonna have to put one of my animals down today. I've got a cat developing cysts on its neck. We've had it for quite a while. He's probably close to 13, 14 years old, and woke up this morning and blood everywhere. Yeah, not too excited. Just try and get that off the mind and focus on what's in front of us and do the best we can. Fairly high rank here. Black mane. Not my favorite warlord, but one that is closer to 50-50 than Stormcaller by a wide margin. Cherub really going to shine here. It is it feels immensely good to be able to clear that troop off the board. Deploy the Crusader. For those of you that only have the time to maybe watch one game, or if you normally only come for edits, I highly implore you to watch game 2 of what we're playing today. Had a rather interesting event I've never seen before that I happened to catch it on camera. So yeah, if you are just here for a short time, go watch game 2. Definitely worth your while. Rhino's out. No idea why a pack of wolves has Lovecraftian like horrors, but okay. Gonna throw out the Grey Hunter. Put a ping and remove the Sacred Rose Sister. Out comes the Zephyr Superior. Trade off of this Grey Hunter. Put a health on it. Trigger for the Rhino. That 4 health unit should be a little bit difficult for him to remove. Interesting. I don't think we see a lot of that card. I'm actually surprised this Rhino stuck around at all through the entirety of this game. I'm not used to having anything resolve and stick around versus wolves, so the fact that this lingered for 2 or 3 turns really changed the tempo of the game. I can't tell whether that's because he drew poorly, or if that's a construction issue, or if there's something else at hand here, maybe just RNG. Either way, it really goes to show how different these matchups would be if you know, a troop just stuck for a little bit. Addy gets picked off with the hard removal. 7-5 definitely a threat. Beatdown strat is very possible versus wolves. I have played Triumph a time or two versus wolves and have just beat people's face in with it, so when your faith is low and you don't have options, beat it up with the girl with armor. Tends to work. Gonna get the rhino triggers here. Apparently, Miss November has came over here and decided to sleep next to me. Currently 10:30 in the morning. I'm just waking up, coffee on the stand, and trying to narrate a little bit as I get up in the morning. Normally she sleeps next to some of the other cats, but I guess just wanted to be in here last night. And that's fine. I have no complaints. Life total getting somewhat low. Gonna rock the Amalia for 4 damage. Get rid of this troop and that one. Get these rhino triggers yet again. And keep in mind, this is a game where troops have stuck around and have stayed on the board, yet I am still losing health at a pretty strong pace. Not that I'm complaining about this game or saying that this was bad in any way, shape, or form. I think our opponent drew pretty poorly. However, with that being said, it wasn't like a complete blowout or a stomp or anything, and you know, we didn't really see a lot of ferocity in this game. So, faction's still incredibly strong without insane ferocity triggers to come out with super flank every turn. So just imagine this game as a prime example of what would happen if they did not have super flank, because we've hardly seen any. And as you can see, game is still somewhat close. So, to all those naysayers in the chat, because there's been lots of complaints in chat over the past few weeks on what should be the changes to Space Wolves, because I think everybody by this point knows that there's a problem, or acknowledges the fact that there's a problem. And my 2 primary suggestions were rework Stormcaller's talent. Either the cost reduction needs to be changed, or something needs to go. Some of the modal effect needs to be changed. Maybe cost increased and the cost reduction left the same. There just needs to be a change to his talent, or card draw nerf. The Fang specifically, 2 cards for 2E could be nerfed, as well as maybe a change to Hunt Mark or Ferocity, where Hunt Mark was choose, gain life, or deal a damage, and Ferocity being no longer super flank, but being like every other activated ability in this game, and some form of a flank was given to some troops, but not all of them. So some of those changes, or a change to kind of fix what's going on. And somebody had made the wild accusation, thank God you can't balance cards. And I'm just like, it got to me. I'm like, I don't think, I mean, one of those things on their own is probably enough to fix it, but I don't think all of them. And it just, I don't know, it kind of ate to me, just the insinuation that I had absolutely no clue what I was talking about while I'm sitting on a pile of data to prove otherwise. I don't know. It got on my nerves. Not that people are not allowed to have different opinions than me or anything, just the the audacity to insinuate that I had absolutely no idea what the hell I was talking about was a little infuriating. I kind of just looked at it and I rolled my eyes. I'm like, ugh, I'm going back to ranked and getting out of this this chat room. It reminded me of a clip by John Cleese. It's a Monty Python short. I recommend everyone go look at it. He explains the Dunning-Kruger effect and how for... Oh, now I know why it bothered me so much. The guy that was saying that Space Wolves didn't need a patch was a Space Wolves player, and was bragging about his rank and how he was higher ranked than me, and his opinion was more valid because of that. That's what irritated me about it. Okay, I remember now. And John Cleese is explaining this Dunning-Kruger effect, and he's like, in order for you to realize how stupid you are at something, you need to have the skills necessary to be good at that thing. So it's absolutely impossible. If you're no good at anything, you lack the skills required to know that you are no good at it. And it really ate at me, and I was like, man, that kind of really just... If you have no clue what you're talking about, and you just don't know that you have no clue what you're talking about, something that's wild. So I looked at it, and it reminded me a lot of that short. We're at an incredibly low life total with the winning board state, and I still feel like he has outs in this game, which is wild. Even without like the severe ferocity triggers, he could have played the card that deals damage to all cards with Hunt Mark. I would have lost a ton of life here, especially if he played two of them in the same turn. I possibly could have died here. Let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on board, and melee. Yeah, I definitely could have died, and that's wild to think about, that he still had outs in this game, even without ferocity, and how close this game was, even though there was no absurd ferocity trigger. So this faction's still incredibly strong, even without one of their main advantages being shown. Just please let that hit your soul. Yeah, if you're wanting points this season by any means, or trying to hit legend, just play Space Wolves. It won't be much of an accomplishment not to see there's one of them. If he had another one of the same card, I could very well lose this game, which is wild. Just reap that in, guys. Got the Morkai Eliminator, so maybe not this game, perhaps. However, the out was there. And with that being said, we're just going to move on to the next one. Opponent packs up. Gonna work into our next one here. This is the game that I found the bug in, where EG Spaghetti Code strikes again. Go ahead and Azrael.
You are defiling sacred ground and will now face his judgment.
Cherub doing the Lord's work, on a side note, climbing a ton of MMR. Since my release of the meta snapshot video, I think I'm up like 600 points, which is crazy. It's pretty good. It's absurd how 3 card changes can really shine how much impact it can have. So I'm gonna throw out shoutouts to Lizard King Edge again, LKE, for the ideas. He definitely was onto something. Gonna throw the prayer here with a shield on it. Out comes the librarian. Rhino, Trigger. I have a feeling today is going to be a long, long day. I'm recording this on the 12th. I think you guys will see this video on the 14th, if I had to guess. Maybe not. Maybe this is tomorrow's video, the 13th? I don't know. I'm a day or two ahead. I don't do any further. I feel like if I went any further ahead, and backdated my videos anymore, that I wouldn't be able to relay my thoughts and stuff more closely, as my opinions seem to change almost daily on how things are feeling. I mean, obviously, I inquire new data, I get my opinions change based on what I see and how I reflect off that, and I kind of just want to keep people updated. I feel like providing people with a bad sense of what's actually going on is probably the wrong idea and what I need. Teleport trigger, kind of a bit obnoxious, but it does happen. Got a couple plays we could make here. To me, the strongest one is probably playing the Ashborne and throwing 2 shields up. Yeah. Like, could have also done Celestian plus Prayer or something to that like. However, I do like just putting shields on these things. More or less guarantees one faith goes through, and now there's a giant body on the board that they have to deal with. I feel like this is a name we've had on the channel before. So please, let's look at the chain of events that are about to follow suit here. So, Covert Operations returns this minion to the top of their deck. My Ashborne goes to the top of mine. And then he talents. Okay? Out comes the Intercessor off the talent. Puts a secret in their deck. For some reason, I feel that should shuffle when you insert that into your deck, but maybe not if it goes into a random slot. In Magic the Gathering, that would shuffle if it was in effect. Alright. Drew the Ashborne. Not going to play it. He draws the troop that has the teleport trigger that he's stacked on top of his deck this turn. Teleport trigger. However, for some reason, there is no unit on the board. And then talent. You can see my obvious confusion going to look at the game log. You can see me tapping on the screen, very confused, thinking that the troop may just be invisible. Again, checking the game log, I'm wildly boggled by this. But I mean, I'm not complaining. It is a win, but I don't feel good for winning this way. So if somebody could explain what happened to me, or maybe even turn in a report to Discord and clip this or something, that would be sick. Like I said, I'm banned for another 2 days, so I won't get the chance to do so, but I definitely feel like this is something that should be reported. Opponent packs it up. I don't blame him. That was a kind of BS what happened. Alright, we'll move on. A little bit of finality here for you. I'm gonna wrap this up with a Galeron. This is something I don't see a lot of on ladder. So figured I'd kind of show one of these to my Chaos friends out there. I can't really say friends. I play Loyalist Legions, but whatever. I'm gonna throw out the Prayer. I could have played a troop here, but more or less any troop I could have played, I feel would have got removed. Interesting decision to not break my shield. I have questions. Gonna play a troop now. Out comes the Litany. and could have removed the troop entirely, but decides to break shield. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about these decisions, and they definitely impacted the game quite a bit. But I feel there were some choices that probably could have been moved around here, in my opinion. Not to say I'm an expert on chaos, I'm definitely not, but I do not think you let troops stick against you. That's a very scary card. He is going to get the strike trigger here. Decides to spend his defense card as well. And I'm going to get rid of that. Could have tempo DI'd. Looks like the option we're playing for here is just going to be a troop trade with the shield and the Seraphim. Always cannot stand seeing that card. It's very obnoxious and very strong. Specifically good in the Galeron lists, however, I feel it's good in all of Chaos, period. I just think that card is strong in general. Gonna apply some pressure with the talent here. Moving into our 6E turn for the opponent. Death Guard's here, boys. This just reminds me, I see people complaining about Death Guard not being in the game all the time on Reddit, and I'm just like, we already have Death Guard. And when I think of this card, I think of Death Guard, and I'm just like, this is kind of like, you ever seen the "we have McDonald's at home" meme? This is kind of what it reminds me of, is we have Death Guard at home, and this is what your Death Guard is. It's pretty low quality. Up, bit of a mistap there. Definitely do not want to concede. Gonna get these troops to get off the table. Already at a ton of faith. Going to apply some pressure with Erica as well. Alright. What is the option from the opponent? Play out another litany. Get that talent working. We are going to drop the Celestian into prayer. Where are we putting it? Right there still seems right. Even with vulnerable 2, it makes it or vulnerable 1, I believe that is. It makes it hard for him to remove, unless he casts his talent. So it would be forcing him to spend energy to remove that card, which is, in my opinion, one of the ways you can make your opponent play in a way that you want to with Erica, and I kind of like that aspect of it. You can force your opponent to play in a way that you desire. And I think anytime you are not playing the game that you want to play, and you're making your opponent play a certain way, I think that's pretty strong. So he is going to find removal for it. Alright. Trigger picks off the Seraphim. Trigger picks off this Seraphim as well. This troop gets some armor. Now, I could DI here to clear. However, I'm going to slam the Triumph. And the reason why is I feel like even if he does have some way to remove this, I do not want to just burn DI on 2 troops only. If he spends his turn resolving this, next turn, because I spent my entire turn playing Triumph, if he spends his full turn solving this problem and developing very lightly, my next turn will be huge, because I more or less have the same play, except for a ton less energy, and I get to clear the board on top of that. So that was my goal here, was to make him spend his full turn dealing with this card, which he more or less did. I expected him to still have troops on board, so that's fine. And then next turn, we are going to get a ton of tempo when we just bring back the same play, except for 6 less energy. So we're getting 6 energy worth of tempo here in this play. Because I was likely to cast DI anyway on this turn, and we just get the Triumph back, so... Now he's got the same problem to solve, so he will likely spend his full turn trying to solve this problem again, except this time he has no troops on board. I'm going to apply as much pressure as we can with the talent, put on the second prayer. I think the armor gain is better than the additional 1 damage. Getting to like 3, 4, or even 5 armor sometimes makes the game absurdly difficult for people to close out, so it's somewhat strong. Sacred Rose is a pretty hot draw. Zephyr Superior, pretty good as well. We probably could have cleared with one of these cards. I don't think we needed both. Or maybe like another unit like Seraphim or Addy could have helped make this board pretty clear, and we could have applied a lot of pressure either way, but we drew pretty hot right there. That specifically made it pretty strong. We're gonna get the Triumph activation. And go up to a pretty strong 3 armor, meaning he will need troops with 4 attack or higher to hit us to deal a significant amount of damage. Granted, Chaos is more than capable of that. Lethal presented for next turn. Gonna give it to my opponent here. Anyway, with that being said, this game is coming to a close, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you all soon. I have some things to take care of, so hopefully see you guys tomorrow.
I will rise again from this defeat and claim my vengeance.
Bedrijven!